Alright, well, we're back to finish up the instructions portion of the Supermarine Spitfire Mark I by Tamiya, 1/48 scale. And I'm sorry about the abrupt end to the last video. Something happened with the camera. I've used my newfound editing skills to cut that part out. And I'm making this video. Hopefully, I'll be able to splice the two together. If not, it'll just be standalone on the instructions. So we've got the Supermarine Spitfire Mark I. As I mentioned before, this was the model that flew in the Battle of Britain, powered by the famous Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Battle of Britain was fought in the summer of 1940 when Adolf Hitler sent the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, the Nazi German Air Force, to bomb Britain into submission and prepare it for invasion. This aircraft, along with others, most notably the Hurricane, fought off the Luftwaffe, caused them such great losses that they eventually just gave up, and Hitler canceled his plans for Operation Sea Lion, which was to be the invasion of Great Britain. It was an important moment in history, an important time for freedom. So, here are the instructions. As I mentioned previously, everything is in Japanese, German, and English. It's a great Rosetta Stone if you want to try and, learn either of those languages, but I'd suggest you take some classes. Anyways, right from the get-go, here we go. We get a nice photograph, little description, cautionary, paints. Not only of course, they're Tamiya paints. Not only the paint code, but also the paint color. So if you don't have Tamiya paints, you can do your best to try and match it. And as we saw in the unboxing, there's beautiful color fold out that it's perfect for matching the colors or getting as close as you can. We go down to tools, basic stuff. You might want an emery board, and you can get one cheaply at the dollar store, or probably a pack of 5 or something, as well as maybe some fine grit sandpaper. For this kit, it shows you what you'll need: regular or thin Tamiya glue, side cutters, instant cement, tweezers, pin vise to drill small holes, hobby knife, X-Acto knife, box knife, whatever. And as you go along, you'll find your own stuff. If you're just starting out, you'll find your own stuff that you like to use and need and works. So, all right, so we move to page 2. Gives you different instructions on different things, even how to take off the excess plastic. It gives you the 3 versions that you can build. Each of the versions, you can have cockpit open, cockpit closed, pilot in, pilot out, wheels up, wheels down. You need to decide what you want to do first before you start anything. And as I've always said, I'll say it again, before you even start, read through the instructions completely. Make sure you understand them. They're broken down into easy, short steps. So be patient, don't rush, and just work your way through. So you'll see here, I'll see if we can get it up there. The light's bad there. Okay, here we go. All right. So you'll see here there's little markings with letter number codes beside them. And those are the letter number codes for the paint. So if it's if there's no color or no shading or anything like this, that means you don't paint there. You can if you want, but why would you? Nobody's going to see it. And then it also tells you, you know, when you need to paint, what you need to paint, which paint to use. So first it explains the closed canopy versus the open canopy. And also you need to make changes on these parts, whether it's closed or open canopy. Moving through the instructions, again, everything is coded with the paints, step by step. They're small steps, they're not big steps. That's one of the wonderful things about Tamiya models. You know, they're short, simple steps. So you see you've got all this here, and that produces this here. So you've got the cockpit, pilot in or pilot out, however it is, all nicely painted, all nicely detailed, and it just slips right in. So you don't have to spend hours and hours. I mean, you can if you want, but if you just want to do 2 or 3 steps and go do whatever you're going to do, that's fine, no problem. If you're painting, oftentimes you got to set it aside and go away anyways. So that's why it's important to review the instructions and understand them. If you got it from Amazon, you can toss it out into the community. If you're on Reddit or whatever like that, you can, you know, post the question if you're really stuck on something. And last resort, you could always contact the manufacturer if you really need help. Oftentimes, believe it or not, they'll get back to you. Okay, so yeah, so as you see, you know, each little section goes together step by step. Again, we've got wheels up, wheels down. Depends what you want to do. When I was a kid, I hung my model airplanes from the ceiling with fishing line or thread. Fishing line was better. And there we go, all the way through to the end, the different assemblies. All these little numbers with circles, that's the decals. Tells you where to put them. Some decals are the same for every version, whereas others are different. Get to the end, tips on applying decals. Decals are also called stencils or transfers. The British call them transfers. And then we've got also the parts list. If you break something, or if for some reason, it's never happened to me with the Tamiya kit, something's broken or missing, you contact them and they'll usually send it out to you for the cost of postage, whatever. Yeah. So that's it for the instructions there, and really going to look forward to building this kit and following along. I hope you'll follow along. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was often now, don't be surprised if your kit arrives just the box. Okay, they're often not covered in cellophane or sealed with cellophane. You can see here where they taped it, just regular masking tape. There was clear tape on the side here. You can maybe see that. So anyways, don't be alarmed when you see that. It's better for the environment, and it's less waste and garbage. So that's one more tip I can give you, is when you get your model, most people can't wait to open it. But if you do if you intend to set it aside for any reason, open it up anyways. Do an inventory. Make sure all the parts are there. None are broken. etc. And then the next step from there is read the instructions. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed the review today, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again, everybody.